Unit 9, Period 9, Roman numeral 1. Today we're going to talk about Ronald Reagan's presidency, and specifically, it's during his presidency that the Soviet Union collapsed. The Soviet Union, shown here on the map, was probably the largest nation in the world at the time of Ronald Reagan's presidency. It's probably considered the most powerful country on earth at that time. Since 1945 and the end of World War II, the United States had been involved in a Cold War against the Soviet Union. It's not just the land that the Soviet Union controlled, but it's also these other countries here that you see surrounding the Soviet Union were known as the satellite countries. And the Soviet Union's government ruled them with an iron fist. This is a picture of what the Soviet flag would have looked like. Notice the red color, representative of the Reds during the Communist Revolution in 1917. Notice that they have a sickle, which is for agriculture, and an anvil hammer, which is for industry. The Soviet Union in 1991 collapsed, and many historians and economists believe it's because they tried to outspend the United States in the Cold War. Here's a picture showing Soviet ICBM missiles attached to trucks that could make them mobile and move them around to make it hard to target by the United States military. Well, that kind of technology and that kind of warfare takes a lot of money. Here are Soviet soldiers marching in a parade. They had one of the largest armies in the world, and again, that costs a lot of money to operate. Here's a post-World War II picture taken at the Kremlin in the Soviet Union of a Soviet nuclear missile on parade. Reagan, upon taking office, is dealing with a difficult economy called stagflation, and the morale of our country is down tremendously because of our loss during the Vietnam War in 1973. Reagan rallies Americans by calling the Soviet Union, our Cold War enemy, the evil empire. It's because it's during Ronald Reagan's presidency that the movie Star Wars had come out, and this was the evil emperor and Darth Vader. And then I want you to notice what color the Imperial Stormtroopers, special guards to the emperor, what color they're wearing. Lots of symbolism in that movie. To counteract the power of the Soviet Union in the Cold War, Ronald Reagan rallied Americans by saying, yeah, we're going to cut the budget, we're going to cut spending, but we're going to increase military spending. And this chart here shows how much Reagan increased military spending while president of the United States. This is from 1980 until 1986. You can see that Ronald Reagan increased defense spending a tremendous amount. One of the things that Ronald Reagan spent the money on was something called the Strategic Defense Initiative, or SDI. It was going to be a space-based laser system to shoot down satellites that may be carrying equipment that could spy on the United States, or ICBMs that are intercontinental ballistic missiles launched from the Soviet Union, as shown in this chart, to attack the United States. And these satellites could either send a laser beam down to destroy them, or we might send a rocket from a submarine, land-based, and be able to attack an offensive weapon coming from the Soviet Union. This concludes Unit 9, Period 9, Ronald Reagan's presidency, and specifically that the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991 because of the tremendous amount of debt that it incurred trying to keep up with America's defense spending.